Hi. It's been a while. I kind of took a break from making YouTube videos because of like a bunch of stuff that was happening at Disney, and recently I've got like a whole bunch of new subscribers. I'm almost at 100. I'm feeling great about myself at the moment. My video must have gotten on trending or something because there were so many views like so fast. I don't know. I have literally no idea what happened. But I'm thankful. Cool. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep this momentum. I'm gonna make more videos. I think that this is super fun. But today I'm going to kind of tell you the story about like why I stopped while I was at Disney, and it's also kind of like why I self-termed. I did leave my Disney college program early, about like a month early, and I was supposed to be done January 2nd. I left December 7th. And as you can see from my last video before this one, that was like 3 months ago. Like, I did not make videos for a long time. So today I'm gonna tell you why. Also, I'm probably gonna simultaneously be like doing my makeup just because I hate videos where I'm just kind of like talking to the camera. I feel like it's weird and unnatural. So I'm gonna be doing something with my hands and with myself so that I can like think better and like just be doing something basically. So I'm gonna really try and make this video the least amount of cuts as possible, but you know, I might get a little sidetracked or whatever. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hi, and welcome. Okay, so like I'm not a makeup artist. I'm learning how to do my makeup like recently. I'm new to it, like a little new to it. Like, I've been doing makeup for a long time, but not like well, I guess. I don't know. So I'm learning. That's why I'm practicing. I'm doing makeup all the time now. I'm trying to figure out what looks good on me and how to do it like as quickly as possible, like systematically, so that I can like get a routine down and like start wearing makeup more. Because the reason I really don't wear makeup that much is because I'm not great at putting it on, so I don't feel confident doing it every day. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay, so Disney college program. The college program that I just finished was actually my second college program. My first one was spring of 2017, and that one I did food and beverage, and I worked in Tomorrowland stands. I really enjoyed it that time. I thought it was the most fun I've had like pretty much ever. It was basically, you know, just working at Disney. That's what it is supposed to be, you know. Oh my god, everything keeps rolling. It was just a job, you know. It's like an internship, but really you're just working in the parks. They provide housing and everything. If you don't know what the DCP is, I have a bunch of other videos about it. You can go check those out. You can Google it, whatever. It's all over the place. It's so huge. Anyway, so this time was my second time doing Disney. Sorry, my cat has a crunchy pillow, and she was like getting comfortable on it. There she is. Hi. That's Luce, my Lucy Lou. Anyway, so this is my second time doing the Disney college program. It was was 2019, and I went in with the same kind of like, I knew what it was kind of gonna be like because I'd done another one before. So I didn't go in it with like super high hopes at all. I was just like, you know what? It's just a job. I'm just going down there to be like kind of more independent or whatever, because it was a lot of fun last time. So why not do it again, you know? So I did. I went in with an open mind. I had low expectations and an open mind. So usually that's really hard to disappoint when I have no expectations in the first place. So last time I was food and beverage, this time I was merchandise. And it was like, it was fine. It was just like working a retail job, like at any normal store, you know? It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like super busy or anything. But here's the thing. They overhired for Hollywood Studios because it was when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was opening. And so there was literally so many people who worked at Hollywood Studios when I moved there in August. And so yeah, we were overstaffed, and so I was barely getting any hours. I worked at the front of the park, in the like stores that are like right on the front of the park. Like it's Celebrity Five and Dime and Keystone and Mickey's of Hollywood. Mickey's wasn't open. I just spit, gross. Mickey's of Hollywood was not open when I moved there, and that's a good thing to note because that is where a lot of our hours were, is because the whole entire store was closed, so they literally had nowhere for us to go. So I started working there, and it was fine. It wasn't hard. It wasn't a hard job at all. It's just a job, you know. I know that there are some roles at Disney that are hard jobs. Merchandise is not one of them. I'm sure, you know, if you were at a bigger store like World of Disney or something like high intensity, high stress, it would be, you know, a hard job. But Mickey, like the stores I was at was not a hard job. Five and Dime, the little stores out front, no. Anyway, we were overstaffed, so I was getting like the bare minimum. I was getting like scheduled 32 hours a week, and then they would like have us closing, so I would go in at 6 and be off at 12:30, and every single night we would close and we would get done early because there's so many of us closing. It took like no time to close the stores. And so they would be like, okay, does anybody want to leave early? You can go. We'll give you an ER, early release, whatever. We'll give you an ER, you can go. And at first, you know, it's like, oh yeah, cool, let's go, you know? Let me take my nose ring out so I can do my face. Yeah, at first it was like, oh, really? Cool, we're getting out early? This never happens at Disney. Like, we're gonna go, bye, right? But I should also mention that they do provide housing, but you still have to pay rent. So my rent was $111 a week. So that's like less than $500 a month. So that's really not bad at all. And I was getting paid $11 an hour to work there. And they just take out your rent from your paycheck, so you literally never even see that money. And it is so easy. It's a really easy way to like learn how to keep track of your money and keep track of bills and stuff, but also not really have to worry about it too much because it just comes out of your paycheck. So I also should mention that I have a $320 car payment every month, and it's bi-weekly because when I got my car loan, that's when my paychecks would come in. So I split it up like half at the first of the month and half at the like mid through the month. So basically like twice, I have a car payment twice a month, every other week, and it's split in half. So it's like 160 something every other week. So if you want to do the math, you can. I can just tell you, I had almost no money. I was working 30 hours a week. They kept trying to send us home. And another thing, if you didn't want to go home and you wanted your hours, they would be like, okay, like, I guess we'll find something for you to do, but like, you know, if you stay, I have to stay, and like almost make you feel bad for wanting to keep your hours. And it was getting so freaking annoying. And like I said, I had no money for literally anything. I was basically having to borrow money from my mom and my boyfriend, like to keep myself alive, so like I can make my car payment, but then I have to eat on top of that, you know, and I have to keep groceries in my house, pack my lunch. I would do everything I could to like not spend a ton of money. But when all your friends can go out because they're not paying any extra bills on top of rent, you feel left out. You feel like you're not being able to have the full experience with your friends. And it just got so frustrating, and I started to like find different ways to save money and find different ways to like cut costs here and there. I started riding the bus more to work because they do provide transportation from housing, so I didn't have to drive, and that saved a little bit on gas, but really not much because it just wasn't that much. Anyways, and everything else was pretty great. I had good friends. I had great roommates. There's no problems at home or anything. It was literally just the fact that I wasn't getting any hours. And so I did that for a couple of weeks. Well, I guess like a month or two. Come October, I was ready to leave. I was like, I'm done with the DCP. I'm not making any money. I'm not having any fun. And not that I went there to, like, I wasn't expecting to make a ton of money. Like, you can't go to the DCP and expect to be able to, like, save hundreds and hundreds of dollars while you're there. You can't, okay? everything is so expensive in Florida, and then they have a Disney tax on top of everything. So literally everything is so expensive. Food, merchandise, gas, literally everything is so expensive in Orlando. And there was other stuff that I wanted to do too. Like, I love Universal Studios. I love it so much. I wanted to get a Universal season pass, like an annual pass for Universal, so that on my days off, I could leave the Disney bubble and go do something else. And I never got enough money to do that. Not at all. And that was a huge bummer. So like October came and I was planning my first trip home because I was pretty miserable. My boyfriend and his family came down and we did Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and then literally the next weekend my family came down, like my mom, my sister, and my brother, and we did Halloween Horror Nights again. And that was literally like such a relief to be able to do stuff like that, and I didn't have to pay for it. Like, my mom paid for it. One second, my brother texted me. Anyways, yeah, I did my eyebrows while I was paused because I was talking too fast for this to end at the same time. Anyways, so my mom paid for my Halloween Horror Nights tickets. She got me like not the frequent fear pass, but like whatever's the pass where you can go like for just September. I'm backtracking a little bit because this was September, not October. Anyways, so that was such a relief because I got to see like everybody that I love, and like I got to get out of the Disney bubble, and my mom paid for it. It was so nice. And then nothing gets better, right? They said that my managers were telling me that when Mickey's of Hollywood, the store that was closed, when it opened up, it was supposed to open up like September, October. When it opened, then we would all be getting like so much many more hours. I mean, so like we would be getting closer to 40 hours, and that's like way better, you know, because then I'm not struggling so hard. I don't have to like save half my paycheck every week, which I know some people do. I know that's like a thing. You're supposed to save like half your paycheck or whatever, but I have bills. I was pretty much just like already done by October, and then Mickey's of Hollywood opened back up, and for like 2 or 3 weeks I gave it a little bit because I was like, I can't be, you know, Mickey's just gonna open, I'm gonna give it some more time, I'm gonna see what happens. Hours did not change, not at all. I was still getting scheduled 32, 34 hours, closing every single night, and everybody's asking like, who wants to leave, who wants to go, you know, and that's just not what you want in a job. You know, if you're gonna schedule me hours, let me work my hours. And it's just like wasn't happening. And so obviously I was completely frustrated, and it was like super annoying. And by October, like I'm gonna say this 100 times until I get past it, but I had like a mental breakdown on the phone with my boyfriend, and I was like, I have to come home. I can't live like this anymore. Like, I need to go back to my other job. I need to make money. I need to have a normal life. You know, I felt like I was wasting my time because I took time off of school again to do it. And it just I wasn't having any fun. So like, why would I stay if it wasn't fun? You know, like, why would I put myself through that? I wasn't counting anything toward my major. It wasn't doing anything like that. So I just wanted to go. I was ready to go. And literally the next day after I had this like sad phone call with Nick, that I got a phone call the next morning from one of my managers on Hollywood Boulevard, which is the stores that I was working in, and he was like, it said like Buena Vista, and I was like, I should answer this, it's probably work. So I answered it, and I was like, hello, and he was like, hey, is this Loriana? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, hey, this is Jack, one of your managers over on Hollywood Boulevard. I just how are you doing today or whatever? And I was like, I'm good. Like, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? Am I in trouble? And he was like, just so you know, you're not in trouble. And I was like, oof, thank God. He was like, but I did want to give you a courtesy phone call since you're not at work today. I wanted to let you know that you've been permanently transferred to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge for the remainder of your program. And I was like, what? I almost started crying. I was so freaking excited. Oh my God, I love Star Wars. It is like, I was I wanted to be in Galaxy's Edge the entire, like, but when I first got accepted back in like March or whatever of last year, I was so hoping and praying that I got into Galaxy's Edge. And then I found out that they weren't letting college program participants work in Galaxy's Edge because it was all people who had to go through like extensive interview processes, and like they had to be approved by like 4 different leaders, like just crazy stuff that they had to like go through to be put to like work there. Because it's more than just like a new land, you know, like it's a whole story, it's a whole like world. And I think I'll make another video kind of explaining Batuu and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and why there's 100 different names for everything. But anyway, so I was ecstatic, okay? I was so freaking happy. I was like, forget everything I said last night. Like, I called Nick, I called my mom. It was my mom's birthday. I was so excited. I forgot to say happy birthday. I just told her my news. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, she was so excited for me. Like, that's what I wanted to do so badly. And all of a sudden, it was like placed right into my lap. You know, it was like freaking awesome. Anyways, so I had like another, like last week left working on Hollywood Boulevard, and then I was to start at Galaxy's Edge. And I was going to be doing the same thing. I was still going to be merchandise, still like in the stores and stuff. And I don't care. I didn't care. I was like, yeah, Galaxy's Edge. Put me in that crap. I want to talk about Star Wars all day. I want to, you know, put me in, coach. You know, I'm here for it. Where's my stuff? And so I finished out my last week. There was so much drama about people moving to Galaxy's Edge because they kind of like just took randomly, like I think it was like between 25 and 50. I literally don't remember the exact number, but there was like a handful of us who all started at Hollywood Boulevard at the same time for this college program, and we were all annoyed about the overstaffing and all that stuff. This caused so much drama because half of us were moving to Galaxy's Edge and the other half were staying. And there's obviously people who wanted to move to Galaxy's Edge, and there's people who really didn't want to move to Galaxy's Edge, and like people who hate Star Wars and were like such bad sports about it and stuff, and it was so annoying. And it started a lot of drama. Like the people who didn't get to move but wanted to go were upset at the people who didn't want to go and were going and were complaining about it. So like there was a whole bunch of stuff with our leaders, and it was like, why didn't you guys ask us to like volunteer who wants to go? Like, and they were like, that's out of our control. It was higher than us. It was the people who were like our bosses that decided who's going. Anyways, so, and there was a bunch of drama that got cleared up eventually, but it was like, it was a lot at one time, honestly. People, I tried to keep the peace and I tried to keep my mouth shut, but I mean, how much can you really, I mean, I was excited and I felt like I couldn't be excited, you know, it was crappy. Anyway, so then we went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and we went through our, like, Batuuan training. We got to write our stories about, like, basically you take on, like, a character, like a persona, when you work over there, and, like, you are a Batuuan, you know, you work in Batuu, or you work in Black Spire Outpost, but you live on Batuu, the planet, and you've always lived there, and you've never been anywhere else, pretty much. Those are the rules. But other than that, you can, like, create your own story about, you know, who you are, what your character is, what you want. Are you a rebel supporter? Are you a First Order supporter? And, like, it's a lot of fun. You get to, like, play with it and, like, kind of create your own character and, like, create your own backstory and life and stuff, and it's really fun. And there's, like, different communities that you can be from, and different, like, it's, like, the outskirts of town, like, then the, like, suburbs, and then, like, in the city. And, like, a lot of people are very prideful about where they're from on Batuu. But, yeah, it's really all in good fun. But anyway, so I moved to Batuu, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. I loved working there. I loved the people that were there. Nothing really was wrong. And then, honestly, the best part was that for the first few weeks, hours went up. I was at 37, 38 hours. Oh, I forgot to say, before this, I was working 5 days a week, 6-hour shifts. Like, that was it. That was all I was getting. So, like, between 30, 32, 34 sometimes. And you cannot go over 40 hours. Like, that's overtime. You cannot do that without like permission. And so I would be picking up a 6th working day. So I would be working 6 out of 7 days of the week, because usually you get 2 days off typically, unless you have a like really busy place or whatever. So I was having to pick up work locations like everywhere else. I would work in Epcot. I would work in Disney Springs. I worked in Disney Springs a lot. You had to find money, you know, you had to find the shifts, you had to figure it out. I traded for longer shifts. Like, people who were working at World of Disney were getting scheduled 10, 11-hour shifts, and I was getting like 6. So I would trade with those people all the time. I would be like, yes, give me the longer hours. I want to work, I want to be there, you know, whatever. And they were like, heck yeah, girl, like, we've been working our butt off. So it worked out then that I was like kind of getting a little bit more money, but still not enough. Anyways, back to Batuu. So when I moved to Galaxy's Edge, the drama kind of subsided. Everybody was whatever, you know, it is what it is, you know. And we started working, and it was pretty cool. It was really fun. People who were in Galaxy's Edge either love Star Wars or don't know anything about it, and either way, it's fun to like play with those people. You can either like, you know, people, since you are part of Star Wars, you can't really talk about Star Wars, you know what I mean? So like, you would have to be like, oh, I don't know what this war is that you're talking about, but I know the legends of Luke Skywalker. And like, you can talk about it that way, but like, you're part of it. So like, you can't, it's like a character, you know what I mean? Like, you're in the universe, so like, you don't know what Star Wars the franchise is, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Working, it was fine. Hours went up for a little bit. For about 2 weeks, I was getting like 37, 38 hours, and I was, wow, amazing, right? And then by the 3rd week, when all of us new people were trained and were in there, hours went back down. I was getting scheduled 30, 32, 34, and this was like November-ish, right? Like, we're kind of well into November at this point. And I asked a leader, I was like, I asked leaders at Hollywood Boulevard too. I forgot to mention that earlier. I literally was begging them to schedule me more hours. I was like, please, please. And they were like, I even asked to be deployed. I was like, please send me somewhere else that needs people. I need hours. I don't care where I work. I need to work. And they were like, we're really sorry, but there's literally nothing we can do. We have asked everyone if we can deploy people to them, and everybody said no. Like, everybody's overstaffed. Star Wars, there was a lot of reasons that we were overstaffed for such a long time, but that's a side topic. Anyways, so I asked again at Galaxy's Edge. I was like, hey, hours went back down. What can I do? Can I pick up? Can I whatever? And they were like, just try and trade for people who have longer hours. Here's the thing about trading in Galaxy's Edge. Merchandise people, there's probably 200, 250, there's like a pretty big group of merchandise people in Galaxy's Edge. But 2 of the stores you have to be specially trained to work in. The Savi's Workshop, where you get to build your own lightsaber, that's special training, and it's really, really hard to get. The other one is the Droid Depot, where you build a droid. Also special training, also pretty hard to get, especially if you're a college program kid who's leaving in a few months. They don't want to train you that extra stuff if you're just gonna go. So I asked to be trained, and they were like, no, pretty much. There was not much they could do, whatever. So I was like, well, can I trade with people for longer hours, like outside of Galaxy's Edge? And they were like, no. So because Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is such an immersive like place, and you have to like know the backstory of the planet, you have to know like somewhat about Star Wars, you have, you know, stuff like that. It's like a special trained land. So if you don't have that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge training, like the class that you have to take, then you cannot pick up there. So that means that I cannot trade with anybody who does not work in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But that also means that I cannot trade with anybody who works at the Droid Depot or at Savi's Workshop, because I don't have that training. So the 250 group of people that I was limited to is now about 50 to 75 people that I can trade with. And that sounds like a lot, it does, but if other people don't want to trade their shifts, or they're like, oh, I like my schedule, I don't need to trade, like, then I'm screwed. Or, you know, or if somebody else has long hours, they want the hours too, you know, because none of us are getting any. So it's basically, I was like put between a rock and a hard place again, and I was not having any money, not having any fun, and it was just madness again. And I was like, I'll stick it out. Whenever we get closer to Thanksgiving, hours will go up. And they were like, yeah, hours will go up closer to Thanksgiving. So I gave it until like the week before Thanksgiving. And the other thing was, I was ready to go still. I was like, this is really fun. I love Star Wars, but honestly, it's almost not worth it still. You know, I'd rather go back home and just like kind of have some time to get my crap together again, get some more money from working in my old job before my classes start again, like this semester. So it was next semester then. But long story short, hours didn't go back up. My family, I had 9 free tickets to Walt Disney World, and I was saving them for my family, and they could not come visit me until the weekend after Thanksgiving. So I had to basically stick it out until then, even though things were not better and I didn't have any money, and I was like I had no reason to be there anymore. But I stuck it out. I waited until they could come. Oh, my nose is so itchy. I stuck it out. I waited. They came. We had a great weekend. We pretty much just did Hollywood Studios. It was the last weekend before the Rise of Sky... Not the Rise of... what's the ride? Rise of the Resistance. I don't know why I blanked so hard. It was the weekend before Rise of the Resistance opened, and I knew that hours would go back up after that when that ride opened, but I was so over it by then, I did not want to be around for that madness. So my family came. It was the last weekend we weren't blocked out, and so we did Galaxy's Edge and Hollywood Studios, and then we did Magic Kingdom for a little bit, like for maybe 2 hours, because we just went to see Elsa like do the little lights up on the castle, because she's awesome. And then we ended out our night with Slinky Dog Dash, and then we left. We had one good day, and my whole family did one good day at Disney, and it was really fun. And then I got so sick, like literally the sickest I've been in a long time, for like the 4 days after my family left. And the thing is, my family left on December 1st, and my boyfriend was coming on December 4th. And he was coming, he flew one way. He was going to help me pack all my crap up, and he was going to drive with me back home. And that was the plan. And so when I got sick, I was like dying. I didn't have a voice. I was coughing. I couldn't breathe. I was literally in bed for those 4 days. And so I had to call out of work. And it sucked because I didn't really tell anybody that I was leaving. I told like my coworkers and my friends and stuff, and my roommates obviously knew. Sorry if you hear the dogs. There's 5 of them. I had to call out. I was so sick I couldn't work, and I knew that it was going to give me another reprimand. And Disney works on like a point system, so I knew it was going to give me a reprimand for attendance, and I just honestly didn't care at that point because I knew I was leaving. And I was so sick, bro. I was like in bed. And then Nick came, and I used my last like 1 ticket on him, and then we did Universal, and it was so amazing. I love when he takes me to Universal. It's like my favorite like out of town date with him. And yeah, then I left, and it was just because I literally had no money, and Disney didn't really have a way to help me get more. And it literally would not have been as bad if I didn't have to make that car payment. That's what was killing me. And that was what was last time. That was like the difference, because I didn't have my car last time. Well, I had a car, but I didn't have a car payment last time. And now I have my newer car, and I'm making payments on it. So like that's where all of my money was going. Like if you think about, I'm making probably like a little bit less than $1,000 a month. 320 of it's going to my car, and like 450 is going to rent. So I pretty much had no money. Like I didn't know what to do, so I just came home, And that's pretty much it. It was literally not like, I was frustrated with the people that like couldn't help me, obviously, but it's ultimately not their fault, obviously. But yeah, that's why I left the DCP early, and I probably won't go back, honestly. Unless a lot of things change with the DCP and they can like literally guarantee you stuff, and it's less of like oh, you're just an intern, we don't care, and more of like, okay, this is your job, let's do something to help you. And yeah, that's I guess the reason why. But other than that, please don't take this as me like talking crap about the Disney company or the parks or anything, because I'm really not. It was my bad experience. Pretty much everybody else has good experiences. Yeah, sometimes your job sucks, but the people you work with are amazing. Or it could be the opposite. The people suck, but the job's great, you know? It just depends on how much you can take and like what you need to be able to live comfortably. And for me, I just wasn't getting what I needed to live comfortably. And by comfortably, I literally just mean buying groceries. So yeah, I came home, and now I'm working at my old job again, and I guess I'm gonna be doing other YouTube stuff that's like kind of Disney related, but also I'm gonna try and move away from that. So if you're here for the Disney content, like, let me know, give me a comment. If you don't care what I post and you're just here because you think that I'm fun, like, cool, thank you so much. I'm almost at 100 subscribers now. I was thinking about like doing something cool for the people who keep subscribing, and I don't know how long I can do it or what I'm gonna do, but I was thinking about going back through my emails and seeing, like, because I see whenever everybody subscribes, I see your names pop up, I see every single comment that pops up. It's not a lot right now, but if you commented on my last video, the getting bullied by stormtroopers video, I saw it. I read your comment, whether it was nice or not, I don't care. I didn't really get any like hate comments, but the ones that were nice were super nice. So I'm thinking about trying to go back and read everybody's names and like make like a subscriber wall or something in my room. I don't know, maybe it's just something nice so that you guys know that I do see you, I do appreciate it, and maybe we can get this crap going. Let's keep moving up, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna pause for a little bit. I'm probably gonna finish up my makeup, and then maybe I'll film something else so that I have 2 videos to put out, and it will be more content for you guys because I appreciate it. I'm here for it.